During World War II, Germany tested a new technology by jamming a British radar tracking station in Malta. How did the British stop this interference after just a few days? During World War II, Germany tested a new technology by jamming a British radar tracking station in Malta. How did the British stop this interference after just a few days?
They wiped the jam off. Never mind.
I understand the joke, it just wasn't good enough to
No,
laugh at.
and I nicked it from Spaceballs, so never mind.
I don't know, despite I did a degree in meteorology, so I know about radars in terms of radar systems in rain detecting. I don't really know how they work, to be honest. It's send out a pulse and listen for it back, I guess.
I mean, I'm a broadcast engineer by trade, and that's basically how I understand it too.
I'm going to understand it even less and just ask, did they just change, the channel that they were using?
No.
How would you jam radar? Again, we should all have knowledge of this because I've done videos on radar. Between us, we've all got some knowledge here, but I don't know how you jam it. I guess you just send out a load of confusing signals, but it does have to be the right frequency. You're right.
Do you just look in a different direction? So they're sort of looking up at Germany from Malta, up being north. Do they just sort of look north-west instead and look over there a bit? Because you have to sort of point your dish.
There was no technology needed on the Allied side.
It's going to be something innovative and silly, isn't it? Like covering the radar dish in bread or something like that. And then the birds that come along and eat all the crumbs actually scare off the radio waves. And I
don't think you want birds near a radar dish. I think
unless you want dinner.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Hold on. What year was this, Matt?
During World War II.
Okay. If you'd said something like 1945, I was going to be like, they won the war. It just... they won.
Yeah.
They really should have invented the radar jamming a bit earlier if they wanted to have any hope of it. But...
Radar jamming! They wiped the jam off. I've just got it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It does explain why the joke didn't get much of a reaction. So.
Yes, I didn't get it.
Don't worry, Matt. I got the joke first time as well. And
I just thought it wasn't funny.
Exactly. Yeah. So back to the radar jamming. The jamming signal from the Germans. This was a genuine problem for the British.
They found the jamming station. They went to the operator. They punched him in the face.
No. What simple thing did the British do to worry the Germans during all of this?
They did. They put up lots of fake places, didn't they, to fool Germans into thinking there's things over here, subterfuge, that sort of thing. So did they distract the Germans and try and get them to focus their radar jamming equipment on somewhere else, thus freeing up the base in Malta?
Not that. But the British did call the bluff of their enemies.
Does radar jamming just mean that the forces were just putting out loads and loads of signals so that we couldn't understand anything?
As far as I understand it, basically. And the Germans would have no technological way to tell whether their jamming was working either.
So did the British just keep going on course without changing anything so that the Germans thought that literally nothing was happening, and then they were like, we're wasting our time putting all of our signals here?
Yes, that is the exact answer. The British just pretended that the jamming didn't work and continued as they were doing, and the Germans just got bored and stopped.
That's so psychologically brilliant.
Well done, Charlotte.
There's a couple of stories like that. With the Enigma code breaking, there were a lot of very lucky observation craft that happened to spot some German boats or some German fights or some German troops. The Germans were just having terrible luck. The observation planes just happened to run over them time and time again because that provided a reason for more troops to arrive later. Never mind, they'd actually just sent the observation plane because they knew where they were from breaking the code. They had to have that deniability. So you just You just pretend.
That's incredible.
The radar station staff asked R.V. Jones of British intelligence for his advice. He replied that the Germans measured the effectiveness of their jamming by monitoring whether the station continued to scan. Therefore, he suggested that the station continue its operations as normal. After a few days, the Germans assumed that their jamming was not working and simply gave up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The Germans only learned how this was done when German signal group head General Martini asked R.V. Jones after the war. And Malta was a strategically important base, being close to both mainland Europe and the north of Africa. I have just noticed the name General Martini.
Maybe they had the conversation over a martini.
Yeah.
I can see why you're on the Genius, Charlotte. That was excellent.
Yeah, well done.
Perseverance is key, guys. Gotta keep going.
The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.